When you've been injured in an accident or on the job due to the negligence of others, know this: your community has your back. Communities look out for each other, and I protect my community. Whether I'm fighting for a personal injury case, medical negligence, or winning the largest civil rights settlement in U.S. history, you will receive personalized and aggressive representation with a goal to maximize your win. Scan now to schedule your free consultation. When you've been injured in an accident or on the job due to the negligence of others, know this: your community has your back. Communities look out for each other, and I protect my community. Whether I'm fighting for a personal injury case, medical negligence, or winning the largest civil rights settlement in U.S. history, you will receive personalized and aggressive representation with a goal to maximize your win. Scan now to schedule your free consultation. Osborne and Francis, real tough lawyers.
Yo, 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 what's up, what's up, what's up? We're going to get a little real today. We're going to talk about recruiting. A lot has changed since I last talked to you guys. And so a couple of my friends have asked me to get on and kind of give you guys my basically my keep it real spot. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep it real with you guys, if you don't mind. We're going to get started in a few. So give me a few seconds and we'll get everything started in just a few. If you have any questions, start getting them together so that we can get those things going. And that's about it. So I'll get everything started in just a second. I'm just waiting for one other thing, and then we will get it started. In the word, like the old-fashioned thing.
You don't have a scholarship, other guys have scholarships.
All right, let's see what we got here. Hold on one second. Got a little technical difficulty, but hey, it is what it is. I get it. All right, let's see. Okay. I might not even be able to get that in there for you guys. It sucks. It would have been a really good thing to show you guys. I was trying to show you guys some things, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get it in here, so I'll show you next time. So anyway, one of the things that I want to make sure that we go over real quick is recruiting. A lot of people are asking about recruiting. They're trying to navigate this new thing. Today is the day. Like, it's a lot of guys that have gotten cut today across the country for different programs. The portal's going to be on and popping. There's going to be a lot of kids in that portal. It definitely affects a lot of kids who are already in college, but it also affects a lot of the kids that are not in college. So, like the kids that are 2026, those guys kind of get the raw end of the deal. It's kind of messed up, but it is what it is. Right now, everybody's, basically trying to get those kids. My phone's been ringing off the hook for all the portal kids out there right now. So let me help you, some of you parents out, to kind of give you some, recruiting 101 basics, so that as you go through this process, you can kind of navigate yourself and not be in a situation where you don't know what's going on. So with that being said, let's get it popping. We're going to talk about the process. Like I said, the most important thing is grade still. That does not change, especially now, because basically all the schools have to get down to 105 kids, which makes it very difficult. So they're going to get massive cuts. That there's not a Power 5 school in the country that doesn't have to get down to 105. So that means you're going to have 20 kids from 120 programs. You do the math, that's just on the Power 5, Group of 5 level. And then you're going to have the FCS schools, which can have 65 scholarships that they can give out to everybody. They're still going to be at 85. So a lot of these schools are going to take a real hit right now. And a lot of them are. Like I said, currently there are a lot of schools that are getting rid of kids. And so, it's going to be very difficult right now. So we're going to talk about the different levels of football. I kind of went over it. You have Power 5, Group of 5. You have FCS, Division 2, Division 3. And everyone wants to say D1, which, that became the big thing. I'm playing D1. But there's really no much such thing. The D1 schools are really FBS and FCS. I mean, both of them are considered D1 at this time. FBS means that they can play in a bowl. FCS means they play in like a tournament format. Right now, the FCS schools, and it's kind of messed up because what's going on now, the FBS schools are rating the FCS schools are like players. We had a young man I knew that he was at Campbell, now he's at Colorado. And then, you're going to have a lot of kids that are going to, because he's at Colorado now, they're going to have to leave and go down to a school. So it's going to be interesting to see how that takes off. Right now, I would suggest to any parent, if you have a committable offer, you want to commit. And the sad part is, even with that, as the season goes on, if you don't do what you think and you're fully committed, that school can back out on you. That happened to one of my kids who was a quarterback. And that's what happened to him. And so he went off to school. And now he's back in the portal. Unsure what's going to happen with him, but we're definitely going to try to get him in school still. Like one of the things now with the recruiting process that I would tell any parent is you better take it seriously and you better be on top of your A's and your A's and B's. Like now as a parent, you cannot sit back. There's so many different avenues for recruiting. And then, and one of the things that is killing everything is, everybody now has a 7-on-7 team. Everybody now is, trying to be an NIL agent. Everybody now is trying to figure out a way that they can get, in these kids' pockets and all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, parents, you only get recruited two ways: off your high school film or off of what they see at camp. It's really that simple. You can get offers, but the problem now is everybody wants offers and nobody really wants a scholarship. They're two different things. The offers are great, and I hope that kids get them, but they're offering, like, let's say a school, any school, they're offering 150 kids, but they're only going to be able to take 25 in an old session. Now with the portal, they're only taking 10. So, it's going to be a lot different. So once again, if you have scholarship offers, whether it's Division I, Division II, FCS, take it. I'd rather you change your mind because guess what? Those coaches have the right to change their mind after watching your senior film. So please take it. One of the differences that I want everybody to understand, the most important thing about recruiting is measurables. If you have a kid, he's 5'7", 185 pounds, and that's what I was trying to show you, but I wasn't able to get off my phone, but I'll read it to you. If you have a kid that's 5'8", 5'7", 180 pounds, 115 pounds, and you think he's going to be the running back in Florida, you're crazy. I mean, so, all these Division I schools have little measurables that they go by. And so if you're not in those measurable points, you better be either super duper fast, or you better, that's really pretty much it. But just so you know, across the board, this is what you want to know. Average D1 football size by position. Quarterback, 6'2" to 6'4", 200 to 225. Running backs, 5'10" to 6'1", 190 to 215. Wide receivers, 5'11" to 6'3", 180 to 205. Tight end, 6'3" to 6'6", weighing 235 to 255. Offensive lineman, 6'4" to 6'7", weighing 290 pounds to 320 pounds. Defensive lineman, they're 6'2" to 6'5", 260 to 300. Linebacker, 6 foot to 6'3", 215 to 245. Defensive backs, 5'10" to 6'1", 180 to 205. Kicker, punter, I don't think they really care as much. But as you can see, they have certain measurables. And so if you meet those measurables, it's a highly good chance that you can, get that opportunity to, make it to that next level. But if you don't meet those certain measurables, then, what can you do? So I do have some people that ask me questions ahead of time. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into that. I know a person asked me, let me see, question and answer. They said, AG, how do I really give my kid exposure? Well, like I said earlier, their high school film is very, very, very important. That's what coaches are going to look at. Also, you want to make sure that you put them in front of coaches. So if that means going to junior days, going to whatever, but even if you go to junior days, they're going to want you to come to camp. Camp season starts May 31st, and it's going to leave up until maybe like mid-June or something like that. Please do not be the kind of parent that you're you only want to go to Florida State, because quite frankly, especially the 2026s, they're pretty much done with that class. You need to make sure that you visit a lot of smaller schools that have camps. Texas is a great place. That's why this year we're going on the bus tour, because you have many, many different schools that are more than welcome to take a look at you. Florida, you got FIU, FAU, and South Florida that still be looking at 26s. It's never too early to get them in front of coaches. One of the things that will happen, even if you go to Florida, Georgia, let's say your kid's a 26 and he looks very well, even if they're not going to recruit him, they have friends. All these guys know each other. All these guys talk. They'll call their buddy and say, hey, man, I got a kid. We're not going to take him, but you can take him. So I'm a big proponent of camps. Like I tell people, I have my bus tour. I've been doing it for 15 years. You don't have to get on my bus tour, but you got to go to camp. So as a parent, you can take your kid and you can pay the fees and do whatever you got to do to help the kid get to school. My bus tour is more than reasonable. But I know people, you call them when they think you're making all this money off of it. So I get it. But like I tell people, for me, you don't got to go on my bus tour. You got to go to camps. Like I know I got my boys out of St. Pete, BJ Hall. I got my boys out of Tampa area, and I got myself. We've been doing it for a long time. I know the importance of camp. I know that, like I said earlier, you only get recruited two ways, by your high school film or your camp. So a lot of times your film doesn't really show everything you can do, because guess what? Your high school coach might not, let you do everything you can do. So you want to make sure you get in these camps and show these guys what you're made of. Next question. AG, what about NIL? You know what? That's a great question. So everybody now is an agent. Everybody now is trying to help with NIL. Everybody now is doing that. And one of the things that I tell any people is you don't need someone to help you with that. To be totally honest, you really don't. If they're an agent, they're supposed to be getting you something, and them getting your NIL and you paying them from your NIL is probably the craziest thing in the world, because you don't need that. I mean, if they can, and quite frankly, it's only probably a handful of kids in the country, maybe 20, that have true NIL deals. Most of the deals are coming from the school, so the school knows what they're going to pay you. You just will talk to the collective and kind of see what they want. Parents do not be afraid to ask. There's no reason that your kid is going to that school, and at this day and time, you need to ask. If you like the money, great. If you don't, great. But there's no way that you're getting $300,000 and you're giving someone $30,000 or $15 or even $1 when they were going to give you that anyway. That's just bad business. And also too, if you're gonna do something like that, if you're gonna pay somebody, make sure they have an attorney background, because that's the only thing I can see of value. Someone that has an attorney, that attorney, is a part of their crew, and that they make sure that attorney has a background that can help. I see so many people falling for the banana in the tailpipe. They're out there just, signing with agents. Agents are getting 5-10% of their money, and they're not doing anything for them. Yeah, and they're just basically taking your money, which is crazy. So just be careful. Like I said. Also, one of the things that you want to make sure that you're aware of is not go to school based off of NIL, because a lot of times these contracts that you sign, there's kids out there, they can testify that they've given out NIL money. Schools promised them, $1 million, and then they don't get it. And that's why you have kids that are walking away from schools. Everybody's blaming the school, saying the kid, but the kid was told he was going to get X amount of dollars, and now that he's not getting it, he's walking away. But everybody's real pissed off at him, which is crazy. But I would tell anyone the most important thing you can do, honestly, is be true to yourself and to be honest. I have a thing. You can go to coachrecruitme.com. We do a thing called honest evaluation. I have quite a few friends that are no longer coaching, but they were former D1 coaches. They will evaluate your son's film, tell you exactly what level he should be at, so you're not wasting time with recruiting, because recruiting right now is very, very serious. So I would tell anybody that to do that, definitely. Last and certainly not least, one of the things that you want to do is make sure that you have a good relationship with your high school coach. He's probably the most important person in this whole process, because no matter what, schools are going to contact your high school coach. So please make sure that you have that kind of relationship where you can go and talk to them, do all the things they want to do, and then you're fine. Uh, this last question for the day. AG, how do you feel about 7-on-7 track and individual trainers? Personally, I believe they're all needed. I really do. I kind of it kind of befuddles me that everyone, that they're like, against it. I think they're all needed. I think that you know, if you ask me why, I think that people probably, get egos about it. But ultimately, your high school coach is probably the most important. But you as a parent, you should let your kid run track for certain. If you're a quarterback, I think 7-on-7 is probably most important for you and DBs. Um, you know, I think it's, but the most important thing is everybody's running out just getting on a 7-on-7 team and saying they're all stars. And really, 7-on-7, unless you're already, a 4 or 5 star kid, it's really practice because college coaches can't be there. If you may get an offer or two for a kid because that 7-on-7 coach knows a college coach, but it's not the place where you're just going to get offered out there behind because once again, like I said, college coaches can't be there. The reason that you want to get with these trainers is so that when you do go to camp, training. If you ask me, 7-on-7 is probably the least important, but you definitely want to get you a trainer because they're going to want you to run 40s at these. They're going to want you to be trained in all these skills and all that kind of stuff. So that's going to be something that you definitely going to want to do. So make sure that you do that. And y'all gonna have to excuse me for a second because I am a proud granddad, and my granddaughter is calling me, so I need to tell her I'm gonna call her back. Hey, mama, how you doing? Hey, I'm in. Pawpaw's in the show right now. Can I call you right back in about 10 minutes? Thank you, sweetie. I love you.
Love you too.
Yeah. Come on now, y'all. You know that. Let's just be real. Man, I had to do it. That's my baby girl. But anyway, one of them. I have 4 granddaughters. I love them all. But that's the one that's gonna take care of me. That's the one that's gonna, when I get old, she's going to make sure I live with her. So I gotta call her back. Anyway, as I was saying, I would say because you basically asked the importance. I would say your head coach is important, then your trainers, and then your 7-on-7 guys. It takes a village. I think one of the problems is everybody wants credit for helping the kid get to school and all that. And the reality is, like I tell people, you really don't help. Like Cedric Baxter, I talked to him today. It really, I might have told people about him, but Cedric Baxter was going to go to a major school no matter what. That's just really what it is. I mean, certain kids, God bless them, and that they're going to be there. Jalen Carter, he was going to a major school no matter what. So I think, when you hear these guys take credit for these kids, it's kind of, it is what it is. But to me, like right now, it's a lot of guys in the portal. A lot of guys, you get more credit than me when you get guys who nobody really wants and help get them in school. Because every last one deserve an opportunity to get a college scholarship. It's not so much about D1, D2, D3. It's about D3, getting D3 scholarship. And while I'm sitting there and I'm saying these kind of things, the other thing I want to make sure that you parents understand. One of the things I see with African American kids is they know how to play the game. They know how to play the game, which is whatever the game they're playing, whether it's basketball, football, track, soccer. They're beasts in the game. But one of the things that they don't do well is we don't teach them how to play the game, and that's the game of life. They have to learn how to, like little kids say right now, politic. That's very important. So we need to do a better job of teaching them that. And with all that being said, I just think that, everyone should be able to get along. As a parent, you're kind of the person in between. So even if the coach has a problem with the 7-on-7 guy or have a problem with the trainer, you're able to kind of, finesse everybody and just, and just do what you got to do to help your son, get to that next level. And I'd be remiss as I end the show not to kind of talk about Mr. Lacey. Mr. Lacey, had so much talent and so much things going on for him. But one thing about it is I think that we all need to make sure we talk to our young kids. I mean, I see way more young kids committing suicide than there was when I was coming up. It's almost like an epidemic now because, kids just don't feel that they could do that. So I just want you guys to pray for the Lacey family. Make sure that you do that, and make sure that if you know the kid is suffering, make sure you help them to get some help. There's nothing wrong with making sure that kids are healthy. And, one of the things mentally, we got to do that. So thank you so much for listening and joining. We'll next week, as you let me know whatever topics you want, and we will discuss them. You have a blessed day. Bye-bye now.